the best shooting backcourt that the association has ever seen.
LeBron James, best player on the planet. This is a true marquee matchup. LeBron James inside.
Curry with another three.
Curry inside. Smith up and in.
Curry takes it.
Kyrie and LeBron running. Up top. Spoon feeding for the King.
On a bitter cold 11-degree night in Cleveland, snow on the ground, late snow in the forecast, but it is a packed house at the Q for a much-anticipated second meeting of the season. The NBA on TNT is being presented by State Farm, and this is a matchup of the two teams that met in last June's NBA Finals. The defending champion Golden State Warriors facing the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cavs at 28-10, leading the East Conference by 4 games. The Warriors 37-4, best record in the NBA, but only a game and a half now in front of San Antonio. The Spurs beating Dallas last night. Hi, everybody. I'm Marv Albert, along with Chris Webber. David Aldridge working the sideline. He'll be with us momentarily. Now, Chris, Golden State with fond memories of their last appearance here at the Q in Cleveland. It was Game 6 of the NBA Finals. They beat the Cavaliers to take the championship for the first time in 40 years of the franchise.
You're exactly right. And how can Cleveland not remember when Golden State poured salt in the wounds on this team just in December on Christmas Day with the 89-83 victory? What makes things worse, Curry averages 7 points more on the road while shooting a higher percentage. And Draymond Green says these are the environments that he relishes the most. But I'm sure the 4-time MVP LeBron James will have something to say about that tonight.
All right, a look at the starting lineups for Golden State. Draymond Green has had several huge games against the Cavs. The Splash Brothers with Steph Curry leading the NBA, averaging just under 30 a game. As for the Cavaliers, they are intact with their big three, LeBron, Kevin Love, and Kyrie Irving. Timofey Mozgov is back as the starting center. J.R. Smith is the other guard and has been shooting well up until the last game, particularly from three-point range. The officiating crew, Ken Bauer, Kane Fitzgerald, Trey Maddox, and we are ready. Golden State beginning the season, 24-0, best start to a season in NBA history. Streak ending in Milwaukee, December the 12th. Golden State going 14-0 on the road before losing represents the best road start in the history of the NBA. Last year, under rookie head coach, they started at 21-2. Luke Walton continues as the interim coach with Steve Kerr battling to work his way back, although he is on this current road trip. And the Warriors control the opening tip. Bogut played by Mozgov. Here is Curry. Gets it underneath to a wide open Bogut.
You have to love it. Just if you're going to watch this game tonight, you're going to see wonderful ball movement, unselfish play. Started on the first play of the game.
Cavaliers' last game this past Friday night in Houston. They walloped the Rockets. This the start of a stretch for Cleveland, playing 5 of 6 at home after the longest road trip of the year. They played 6 games, won 5 of 6. LeBron taking right to the bucket.
Now, Marv, we all know that LeBron is one of the highest scorers in this game, but usually he comes out in the first quarter and facilitates. The first play of the game, it looks like he wants to be aggressive.
Curry fires from way downtown.
Speaking of aggressive,
Steph Curry did put up 38 points the other night in a rare poor performance by the Warriors, losing in Detroit by 18. Irving played by Curry. Oh, a beautiful crossover move, but cannot finish. And here come the Warriors. Thompson pulls it up on Love and scores.
such a beautiful jump shot in rhythm. Coming down the Cavs, when you throw the ball into Brown on the post, as a team, you do not want to double before he dribbles the ball. One of the best passes in the game, but can see over the defense.
Love with a catch and shoot. Rebounded by Bogut. Green played by Love. Thompson with a rainbow for three.
No way. No way.
And a quickie timeout taken by David Black. Warriors open up by hitting on their first 4 shots and have a 10-2 lead.
Here's a matchup that many wanted to see. James on Curry, spinning, puts it up, puts it in. Iguodala fakes, drives, and finishes. Just a brilliant performance. Curry gets an opening, fires away, got it again. And the dream season is now complete. The Golden State Warriors are the 2015 NBA champions.
It's been 7 months since the Warriors walked into this building for Game 6 of the NBA Finals. They left the building that evening with the Larry O'Brien Trophy. Draymond Green said this morning that as soon as he walked into Quicken Loans Arena, he couldn't help but smile. He's watched that tape many times, and he remembers all the details of those final seconds, from Steph Curry throwing the ball in the air to Andre Iguodala running toward him and jumping in his arms. Steve Kerr won 5 championships as a player, but he said this morning of that evening, it was the greatest day of my life. But inadvertently, Curry may have caused a bit of controversy. While innocuously answering a question about his memories, he said, of the locker room, hopefully it still smells a little bit like champagne. LeBron James wanted to talk about it this morning at Cavs shoot-around, but nobody asked him. He said he would have an answer to those comments tonight. Marv?
I know Steve is anxiously awaiting the answer. Chris, as you were pointing out earlier, Steve would do that when he was with us here at the TNT, which is why he had such a tumultuous 8-year run in broadcasting.
You're right, Marv. I said that, Steve. Wink, wink, Steve.
Steve is back in the Warrior locker room, charting away, taking notes on you, Chris.
Great to see him today.
Mozgov with a nice little jump hook shot. And there's no timetable on the return for Steve Kerr from the leave of absence as he recovers from the 2 offseason back surgeries, and he's dealing with headaches. And the Warriors say they don't want to rush it. Steve has been attending practice. He's been at home games, and he is, as we mentioned, on this 3-game road trip. Foul committed by Mozgov. The NBA on TNT is brought to you by Honda. Start something special with a great deal on a Honda, now at your Honda dealer. And by FanDuel, the leader of one-day fantasy sports.
You know, Marv, you're talking about coming back to this arena for this team. I think this is the perfect time. It reminds them of the focus, the discipline, the overall goal that Golden State had earlier, and to come back with these good feelings, I think just in the midst of a tough loss in Detroit is just a great reminder.
Beautiful ball handling as per usual by Irving to set it up, but Cavaliers not able to take advantage. Well, Luke Walton telling us, no question, there has been some slippage in recent weeks. Even when the team was winning, Green comes up short, and it's rebounded by James. It's hard to maintain that level when you open up the way the Warriors have, and they are now 37-4. LeBron lost it, and the ball back to Golden State.
You're right, and a great talk with Coach Walton before the game, and he was saying, you know, it's tough to crack the whip, like you said, but he said what we're focusing on is revisiting the fundamentals, setting hard screens, tough blocks, doing the things that we have to get back to be a great team.
Well, Cleveland with a home record of 15-1. Their one defeat here at home was December 1st to the Washington Wizards. And they had an excellent road trip. The one loss to the San Antonio Spurs in San Antonio. J.R. Smith draws the foul on the tough defense by Klay Thompson. So Smith to the free throw line. Best records in NBA history after 41 games. The Bulls of 95-96, Lakers 71-72, 38-3. And the Warriors right there with the 66-67 championship Sixer team with that 37-4 mark.
And what a great job Walton has done this year with this team. And even though this team is close to setting records, you still need your head coach. As you said, who's in the back as he's sitting there talking to Kyrie. But I think when Kerr comes back, this team is going to be infused with the energy. You always respect the head man just a little bit more. That's why I really respect the job that Luke has done. He's had to garner that respect. But, Marv, I don't think Golden State has played their best ball yet, which is really scary. They haven't had all their guys healthy for most of the season.
And Luke is just 0-0 on the season. Doesn't get any credit.
So he can't get Coach of the Year? Well, who's going to get it this year then?
I can think of several.
I can too, but his name...
Greg Popovich being one.
Well, yeah, he's in it every year.
But what happens when a guy is expected to do well, he does not usually win Coach of the Year. I think Pat Riley won it, once? Popovich a couple of times. A three-pointer again for the Warriors. This time Harrison Barnes, who is still in the process of getting his legs back. He's back from the ankle injury. It's only his second start since then. Strong drive by Smith would not go down. JR able to haul it in, and they get a new shot clock. Open shot from Mozgov, and he hits. Timothy Mozgov, who has struggled following off-season surgery on his knee, has not been the same player that he was after coming over from Denver to Cleveland last season. LeBron all over Curry, who pulls out a step back. Irving with the rebound.
This is where I want to see Kyrie push the tempo, push the pace, use his speed in the open court to get guys easy shots.
James played by Thompson. Slaps it over to Mozgov, and he scored. But LeBron actually lost control and then tapped it to Mozgov.
I mean, where he had eyes in the back of his head, obviously, on that play. Just a great wraparound pass, but better hands by Mozgov, catching and finishing.
Coming up on the halfway mark of this first quarter. Strong move by Green. Draymond Green cannot put it down. J.R. Smith. Beautifully done. J.R. Smith with a series of feints to get that shot off. Luke Walton takes a timeout for Golden State. 6-0 run by the Cavs. Warriors with a 15-11 lead. Watch enhanced coverage of tonight's game only on TNT Overtime. Check out NBA.com/TNT Overtime. Marv Albert, Chris Webber, David Aldridge from the Q in Cleveland. Capacity crowd better than 21,000 turning out. Here's Curry on a quick release and hits another three. Golden State started out 5 for 5, including 3 from downtown. They're just 2 for 7 since then. Curry hitting his second three-pointer of the night with 5.5 minutes remaining in this first quarter. Mozgov lost control. He felt it was slapped out of his hands, but it'll be Golden State ball. Warriors with the best record in the NBA, but just a game and a half in front of San Antonio, with the Spurs winning last night against Dallas. But the Warriors have actually dropped 2 of their last 3 before the loss in Detroit the other night. They had won 8 of their previous 10 games. Nice pass work there to set it up for Barnes, wide open. I should say Iguodala, wide open in the corner. Iguodala just come on for Barnes.
You know, Marv, this is where I think Kevin Love has to earn his paycheck. If you look on that last play, that's where Draymond Green is so special, getting guys involved. Kevin Love is a great passer. He can do the same thing, and he can score, as you see LeBron try to get position on that play.
Foul was committed by Iguodala. LeBron upset with the physical play of Iguodala, something he saw quite a bit of in the finals last season.
That means good job, Iguodala, if you can upset LeBron in any way. But Draymond Green and Love is such an intriguing matchup to me. Love has been kind of relegated to a three-point shooter that really can do a lot. And so it's imperative that the Cavs get him involved. That's one of the reasons why they feel they didn't win last year, because they didn't have a full healthy squad.
Tristan Thompson has come on for Timothy Mozgov. James working off the pick. Now played by Green on a switch. Festus Ezeli has also come on for the Warriors. Ezeli coming off a strong game the other night on a losing effort. Nice one-hop pass to Thompson. Matthew Dellavedova on the floor for the first time for Cleveland. And Dellavedova had it knocked out of his hands by Curry. And a foul is called on Curry.
You see this foul right here. Curry's really trying hard to get over that pick to make sure he doesn't just give up on the screen right there. Anticipates the play, but the foul first.
Leandro Barbosa replacing Klay Thompson, who sits down 2 of 4, 5 points. Coming about 4 minutes to play in this first quarter. Here's James going at Ezeli and scores.
Look for LeBron to do that a lot. Attack the paint. He had a couple jumpers earlier. Didn't go down for him. Getting right back to his sweet spots.
This is Green setting it up for Ezeli. Festus Ezeli with the good numbers the other night. 10 points, 10 rebounds, 5 blocked shots. 5 blocked shots, a career high. Green picking up his 3rd assist on that play. Warriors up by 10. They opened up with a 12-2 lead, hitting 3 3-pointers along the way. And J.R. Smith, who's had a good first quarter, able to knock it down.
The tough shot maker, the tough shot taker. You want to say bad shot, oh, good shot till he makes it.
There's Green behind the back. Ezeli out of stuff again.
Draymond Green, I've said it, and many people may not have understood. The MVP of this league right now is Curry. He could not be the MVP of this league without the MVP of Golden State Warriors, and that's Draymond Green that does everything and allows Curry to be that superstar.
Well, wait a moment as Dellavedova gets inside on Curry. Try to fade away. It's saved by Love. Shot clock down to 2. Love too strong. Rebound Green. So you're saying Curry is, wait a second, MVP of the league?
Yes.
Green is MVP of the team. As Green is tripped up by Thompson and will head to the line.
Yes. What if I'm the leading rusher in the NFL?
Yeah.
Can I be the leading rusher in the NFL without one of the best lines? I don't know. And I think that Curry would have different responsibilities. He would not have the freedom that he has to attack in the first quarter, let off in the second quarter, if he didn't have Draymond Green. Glue guys make their guys better.
So would you say if the leading rusher in the NFL is MVP, but a particular offensive lineman then would be the MVP of the team?
No, I'm saying if you're the leading rusher, you better buy your offensive line some TVs, some cars, because you would not have been able to do that without them clearing the path for you. And this guy clears the path for all his Golden State team.
And you can see how this second-round draft pick has improved by working as hard as he has. And, of course, getting the playing time has helped because that was recognized and was put in the starting lineup actually by Steve Kerr, was coming off the bench prior to that. And leads the NBA now in triple-doubles with 8. Oh, what a move by J.R. Smith.
He loves those shots, spinning to his left, spinning to his right, and he's keeping his Cleveland team in it right now. Not with a lot of ball movement, but just with some big buckets.
JR's 3 of 4 from the field. Green whips it cross court. Here's Curry. Shumpert closed in on him, and a foul is called. Iman Shumpert just checked in. Excellent defensive player, and he's called for the foul.
Some people call him JR Buckets, JR Swish, but as you see right there, just a tough jumper over Barbosa. Just a tough jumper over that left shoulder. And if there's a guy that can knock those down, it's JR.
I prefer J.R. Swish. There are other guys, Mo States is known as Buckets. And Doug McDermott.
Yeah, that's right.
Buckets, so forget that.
McBuckets,
right? McBuckets. There's Curry with a scoop. Steph Curry, so fluid, so effortless. Whether he's shooting a 3 and then looking away.
And he doesn't settle. You want to think that he just, with a jump shot that good, you just lay back. But he cuts to the hole, gets easy buckets, and you don't know how to guard him next time.
James, one-on-one with Iguodala. Goes at him, spins his way, and gets hit to the forehead. Draws the foul.
Just a great move. And Marv, you know, when we talk about these MVPs on the floor, they do it different ways. When you talk about scoring, Steph Curry leads the league in first and third quarter scoring. This guy, LeBron, he loves facilitating in the first quarter. And how about this? He leads the league in the second and the fourth quarter. So it's just 2 different ways that leaders handle their team, but just so fun to watch.
Nice pass. LeBron 5 Ivan Smith out of back door. That last foul incident, it was Ezeli who got LeBron after he made the move on Iguodala. Here's Curry from way downtown.
No way.
And may have had something to say to Dellavedova.
Yeah, he looked at him a little bit. Like, remember this?
31-19 Warriors. Oh, LeBron with a shove on Curry, and that's a foul. LeBron James shoving Steph Curry and called for the foul.
Sense of urgency. LeBron called his team out earlier this year and said, we're playing like we won a championship, and Golden State is playing like they aren't. I love that push-off by LeBron. If I'm a Cavs fan, who cares about Curry? And if I'm Curry, I don't care about that. Push me all you want. You can't push me while I shoot a three. Just great battling by the two guys.
And the quick release by Curry for another three. Fans were unhappy with the call on LeBron. They felt that Curry flopped. That's their point of view.
It was not a flop.
No.
LeBron could play linebacker in this league in the NFL. He just pushed him off, but Curry uses his quickness.
Curry 16 points, 4 for 5 from downtown. James does not get the roll. And the foul is called on the Cavaliers. The foul is on Tristan Thompson. What a first quarter for the Warriors. 13 of 19 from the field, with 9 assists on the 13 field goals, and they've hit 7 of 10 from three-point land.
That's an old veteran move. I learned that from Vlade Divac when he was playing in the league at 56 and couldn't jump anymore. You put your arm and your shoulder on someone's elbow, they can't get up. You use them to propel you up. Tristan Thompson's hand got caught in the cookie jar that play.
Anderson Varejao, who played well in Cleveland's last game in Houston, played 8 minutes, did a good job, has come on. Here's it from the top. James Harden steal in the bucket. Good play by LeBron James. Down to 20 seconds remaining, first quarter. Shot clock differential of 5. Ezeli comes out to set the pick. There's Barnes for 3. The tip missed by Ezeli. James picks it up. Final seconds of the quarter. LeBron on the drive gives to Varejao, back to James too late. The extra pass cost.
LeBron has to score that. You don't want the Varejao shooting that anyway.
So led by Steph Curry, who had the last 8 points for Golden State. Fast start for the Warriors. They're up by 13 here at the Cube. Back at the Cube in Cleveland, Ohio, the NBA on TNT is presented by State Farm. Moments ago, David Aldridge caught up with Warriors interim head coach Luke Walton.
Luke, you guys have gotten off to slow starts lately, not so tonight. How are you able to move their defense so effectively?
Well, we're competing. We're playing hard and we're locked in. And when we get stops on one end, we're able to get out and run, and we're really hard to match up with.
Inversely, at the defensive end, you have got them to shoot contested, difficult shots. Can you live with the shots you're giving up there?
Absolutely. J.R. Smith hit a couple of tough two-point shots, and we're fine with that. We're trying to keep them off the free throw line and keep them away from the three-point line, and we did a good job of that in the first half.
Thank you, Luke.
Thank you.
All right, David, on to the second quarter. Harrison Barnes goes back rim. Ball deflected out. Last touch by the Warriors. It is a 13-point lead by Golden State. Warriors average 30 points per quarter, first quarter during the course of the season. And so they surpassed that here tonight. Shumpert with his first shot attempt. Shumpert hits over Iguodala.
And when the Warriors come out scoring at that type of pace, it puts so much pressure on you to stay in your defensive rules, to stay in your offensive rules, because you start the game off behind trying to catch up.
Dellavedova trying to defend on the taller Barnes. Harrison Barnes with his second field goal. He has 5 points. Harrison Barnes back from the left ankle injury suffered in late November, missed 16 games in all. This is 9th game back overall. it for the Warriors. And Iguodala, taking that pass from Barbosa, extends the lead to 38-23.
Missed opportunity by the Cavs. Harrison Barnes is checking. Love. That means you go into the post to Love, period.
And Love lost the handle. Last touch, though, by Barnes.
You just look at this great job getting in the passing lane by the quick Barbosa, getting the ball out, knowing that Andre Iguodala is going to finish strong, one of the best finishes in the game.
Love trying to shake it off. He hurt his hand. And Ken Mauer makes the call before the shot attempt. Basket does not count, and the ball will go back to Golden State. We have not received an indication as to what that call was. Let's take a look at how Love hurt his hand. Apparently a 5-second violation in terms of the inbounds pass. 2 minutes gone by here in the second quarter. Intriguing matchup, Dellavedova and on Barnes. And Barnes lost it.
You know, Marv, that last 5-second violation, when you're on a team and your team does that, you say we are not focused. Because you can throw the ball in at any time, and those little things, attention to detail, when you're playing against the champions, when you want revenge, you have to make sure that you tighten up those spots.
Cleveland with a backcourt of Dellavedova and Irving, Varejao with Love and Shumpert on the front line. Here's Varejao getting the playing time here tonight. Off his performance the other night against the Rockets. He really bothered Dwight Howard in his 8-9 minutes of play. And a foul is called. Offensive foul on Ezeli, being ushered aside by Livingston. Does not want to see Ezeli pick up a technical.
Yeah, Ezeli's a little bit upset. Oh my God, that's I guess it's a good flop. You made him believe it, but when you're 270 and I'm 270, you can't push me all the way down without extending your full arm. Great flop by there, getting another play, an extra possession by Varejao.
Draymond Green returns for Andre Iguodala. Here's Richard Jefferson, one-time member of the Golden State Warriors, checking in for the first time. So it is Jefferson up front now with Love and Varejao. David Blatt doing a lot of shuffling. LeBron James sitting it out, getting his rest here at the start of the second quarter. Irving and Shumpert to the backcourt. Here's Irving kicking it out. Love from the corner for three. Rebounded by Klay Thompson. Green from downtown. Yes. Their 8th three-pointer. They're 8 for 12 from beyond that three-point line. Varejao with a runner. Anderson, Varejao. Golden State to the front court to hurry, and Sean Livingston with a short baseline pop. Warriors average 114 points a game, leads the NBA. They shoot 48% from the field. That's second in the NBA, and they lead the NBA in three-point shooting. Not bad. The NBA is celebrating Martin Luther King Day. Dr. King inspiring the world with a legacy that still influences the lives of millions. The NBA celebrates MLK Day and honors his legacy of inspiration and influence. 10 games on the schedule, on the NBA schedule today and tonight. Nice move by LeBron James, who just checked back in. So LeBron with his 4th field goal. He has 8 points, 3 assists. Warriors up 43-29. Got right to it with a hot shooting first quarter. Hit their first 5 shots. Thompson working on Jefferson. Fires one. Rebound snatched by Varejao. Here comes Irving. Met by Livingston. Irving. Yes.
You know, Marv, Kyrie Irving is on about a 35-minute restriction. He's already up to 10 minutes. I wonder, does the game and the score dictate how much he plays today, or do they stick to that minute restriction?
Oh, what a pass from Green, and Livingston puts it away.
I played on a team like this. Okay, they weren't good. We didn't win a championship. Say what you want. But I've been on a team that was this fun to play on, where guys were passing, moving around, and it keeps everyone engaged almost every second of the game because you trust your teammates.
You're being modest. They were very good for a pretty good stretch of time, but unfortunately for the Sacramento Kings, there was a team in L.A.
Yeah, we ran into some Hall of
good.
Famers.
Yeah.
Lucky I get to work with one with you now. It's a little bit nicer than going against them every day. I tell you, that was no
check
tough.
is in the mail.
Thanks, but it's true though. But so much fun, Marv. You know, they were talking about getting back to the little things, cutting. When you cut for a man, it takes so much energy. That's trust that your cut isn't going to be wasted. That means you don't have to pass me the ball, but at least look at me and see if I'm open, because I'm opening the lane up for you because your defender is coming back toward me.
Anderson Varejao hears the applause from the crowd. Another good performance by Varejao. Shumpert, Smith, and Irving in a three-guard set with James and Jefferson. So the Cavs have gone small to match up with the Warriors. James played well by Thompson.
Great zone right there by Golden State. Anytime as you see this nice finish by Iguodala.
Iguodala able to work his way down court, and Curry saw him from the corner of his eye.
This crowd is so quiet. It's almost like they remember Game 6. Well, I'm sure they do. But it's almost like they're in that mode right now.
Jefferson passed on a three, drives the lane, and draws the foul. It is a 16-point advantage for Golden State. Jefferson will shoot two. Curry picks up his second. The NBA on TNT is being brought to you by Chocolate Milk, trusted by athletes, backed by science. By Tissot, the official timekeeper of the NBA. By Heineken, open your world. And by the Premier Rewards Gold Card from American Express. How about Kemba Walker earlier today? Franchise record high, 52 points, 6 of 11 from downtown as Charlotte beat Utah in double overtime. Previous high 48 by a fellow by the name of Glenn Rice, who you well remember.
Yeah, I remember that big dog boy. He was a bad man, but Kemba Walker, he had some great handles too, keeping his team in the game.
Oh, nice play and a foul. Yes, and it counts. The foul on Shumpert. Draymond Green hits the deck, and he'll go to the line looking for a three-point play.
Defenders are so good in this NBA that your teammates have to help you by getting the ball to you in positions that'll put the ref in a tough position to make a tough call. Jefferson is upset there, but blame the pass, because soon as Draymond ducked in, it was just right on the dot. Just great ball movement by the Warriors.
Draymond playing with such high power energy. Off to another good start here in the first half. Iguodala back defending on James. Curry on Irving. Goes to the step back. Green's pass off the mark. And a reach-in is called on Livingston.
Great defense by the Cavs, but that is one thing that makes Golden State so good. Anyone that rebounds on the floor with this lineup. Andre Iguodala is the tallest man on the floor between him and Thompson for Golden State. They have 5 ball handlers, 5 shooters, and so when they get the rebound, they can keep the pace.
Irving met on a switch. There's Livingston cheating over, trying to help on James. James backs his way. Lost the dribble. Lost it again. Jefferson falls to the floor. It's grabbed out of his hands by Livingston. It's a 3-on-2. Iguodala on the drive, and he stuffs. Warriors have hit 8 of their last 9 shots, and they've opened up a 52-32 lead. Timeout called by the Cavaliers. A look at downtown Cleveland on an 11-degree night. This a day that saw the NBA lose one of its terrific people, Johnny Bach, a head coach at Fordham, one-time head coach of the Warriors, best known as an assistant with Doug Collins and with Phil Jackson for 3 of those Bulls championship teams. Time is running out. NBA All-Star voting presented by Verizon ends at midnight tonight. You can vote now on NBA.com or via the NBA app. And vote now. No question, a fellow by the name of Steph Curry will be among those showing up for the weekend in Toronto.
He better be if the fans have any sense, because this is a human video game. Kids, you can try it at home all you want, but you better practice before you do this in the game. You have to be able to catch off of the dribble, shoot off of the dribble, shoot off of the catch, be able to penetrate, cut, get other guys involved. Basically, work on all your fundamentals, and maybe you'll have a chance to be like this guy.
And a very happy 24 hours for Steph Curry. He is a fanatical fan of the Carolina Panthers. Panthers have had a sensational run as they head to the NFC Championship game, face Arizona. The Warriors set up a catered viewing party yesterday, I'm told, in Detroit. And Steph was wearing his Carolina Panther, I don't know if it was a uniform or just the gear.
Guys are so excited. He may have put the whole helmet and uniform. We've seen him beat the drum before the game, and nice back cut.
And the foul on Mozgov for the shove.
Speaking of football, I always say when you get a back cut like that, it's like letting a team run on 4th and 12, getting the first down. It's so frustrating to a defense. They played great defense on the shot clock, 20 seconds, but you make a back cut that lasts 4 seconds and get an and one. That's just, it's just so frustrating for a defense.
This has been an embarrassing first half for the Cavaliers. A lot of time remaining. Just under 5.5 left. In this first half, it is a 55-32 lead for Golden State.
You're exactly right. You want to see the sense of urgency on the part of the Cleveland Cavs. We've seen it by LeBron, Kyrie, and a couple of others, but you want to see everyone get on the same page.
Little dribbling exhibition by Irving, but not able to finish off. Look out. Iguodala went down. Actually, it might have been Curry that accidentally tripped him up, although Mozgov is called for the foul.
Well, when it rains, it pours, and, you know, big guys were known for being slow, and so it looks like, oh, no, that's definitely on Mozgov.
It
Yes,
is,
definitely.
The innocent look fooled me, Chris.
Exactly. That's why you can't fall for that as a ref. You can't listen to any player. The looks will deceive you.
What is he complaining about?
He has to play
he was there.
He has to play it to the end, make it believable.
Curry gets the step on Irving. Try to go glass. Irving with the rebound. Irving now met by Livingston.
The defensive communication by Golden State is wonderful. We just had 2 guys switch off, Green and Iguodala on LeBron.
And the ball is stolen, leading to a 3-on-1. Here is Curry. 57-32 Warriors.
Marv is a hooper. I know that they're in the Cavs' head because now the Cavs are talking to each other with this stain on their faces. And anytime as a player you can frustrate that other team to kind of point fingers, you think you're in that team's head, at least for that moment.
Nice moves by Smith, and he's able to hit. Pretty drive. It was a 14-1 run by Golden State. Thompson posting up to the fade. Yes. The Warriors are now at 69% from the field. 24 to 35, 16 assists on the 24 field goals. LeBron going one-on-one is rejected from behind. The block by Green. Thompson open for 3.
Marv, you just talked about the run from Golden State, and I can't remember a bad shot by Golden State, and that just shows guys on the same page.
Smith was fouled, a blocking call. We talked about the offensive skills of Golden State. But as you mentioned, the communication defensively is is so good.
Well, Curry stole that from John Stockton. I'm telling you, Stockton used to come and steal it from the post player, and Draymond coming over. But when you have a team that's like size, so this Golden State team right now doesn't even really have a center on the floor. They can all switch as long as they communicate and let each other know who's coming in.
J.R. Smith at the line. Foul number 3 committed by Steph Curry as we check out the upcoming NBA national TV schedule. ESPN on Wednesday. Golden State at Chicago. Atlanta, Portland. NBA Saturday night primetime on ABC. Chicago here in Cleveland. NBA TV next Monday. Minnesota at Cleveland. And San Antonio at Golden State. Timeout called. You are watching the NBA on TNT. When Golden State and Cleveland met in the Bay Area on Christmas Day, a different type of game. 89 points scored by the Warriors. An 89-83 final score. Physical, low scoring.
You thought that was going to be type of game tonight, but it seems the Cavs have come out at least in the first half and kind of laid an egg on this important night. Already, Golden State has 12 fast break points. On that Christmas game you're talking about, they had 14 total.
Cleveland missing 15 of the first 20 shots that game as Thompson draws the foul. Now, both teams go into the locker room at halftime. What do Luke Walton and Steve Kerr, who's on hand, what is there to say? Nice going, guys?
Well, you know what? I think, Kerr has set a standard here. And so sometimes you say to guys, I expect you to do this. What are you going to do in the second half? Is that it? Are you happy? Are you feeling yourself? Or are you going to go out and complete the mission? And Kerr being the champion himself, and who better to help you into repeating the next year and to give you that inspiration besides someone that's going through it?
In the Cleveland locker room,
LeBron will take the board. Say, guys.
A different story, different tone. 61-35 Golden State. 3 minutes left in the half. Smith with the fadeaway. James off the rebound. Crowd very upset throughout this first half. Iguodala again has an open man. And it is another 3. This time Ian Clark, who had just checked in following the timeout. He is a terrific three-point shooter, a 3-year man out of Belmont. He is shooting 46% from downtown.
He doesn't get that shot if Andre Iguodala doesn't go box out Tristan Thompson with Draymond Green. The attention to detail is spectacular by the Golden State Warriors.
Shot clock got a 1, and Thompson draws the foul. They just did get it off on time.
That's what you want to see more. One of the first times that a big man has been hit with the ball with cutting since LeBron hit Mozgov early in the first quarter. When you score without dribbling, you not only get more possessions for yourself, but you make it much more easier to finish the play.
Green on the foul. Tristan Thompson has played very well as of late, very steady. Mozgov starting once again tonight, and actually had one of his better performances.
Yes, anytime. That's the one good thing about Cleveland, or one of the many good things about Cleveland. They have a lineup that can match you up. If you're Dwight Howard and your guys are big, they can go small with LeBron at the center. So a lot of options for this team, or Tristan Thompson at the center. A lot of options for this team when they have it rolling.
But can they match up against the Golden State Warriors? Can they match up against the San Antonio Spurs?
Yeah, that's a question, and as we saw last week in San Antonio, it wasn't that easy, but I'm sure these guys are saying we're only at the halfway point of the season. We got a little more time to get it together.
Barnes changed his mind, got it down low, and a foul. Thompson and James all over Green. And it is on Thompson. That is number 4 on Thompson in 7 minutes of play. And he will head to the bench, replaced by Kevin Love. Draymond Green, a 68% free throw shooter. A look at the upcoming TNT TV schedule. Coming up next, it'll be the Houston Rockets and the LA Clippers from Los Angeles. Clippers had that 10-game win streak stopped the other night by Sacramento. Thursday, Clippers. Next, this coming Thursday, Clippers back here in Cleveland. And then San Antonio at Phoenix. Coverage starts 7 o'clock Eastern time with the announcement of the All-Star starters. That'll be Thursday night. The studio show is always handling the honors. Pass for Dellavedova broken up. And last touched by the Warriors. The defending champs coming in at 37-4. Best record in the NBA. Their 4 losses taking place on the road. They're 19-0 at home. Meanwhile, the Cavaliers at 15-1 here at home. David Blatt's team, 1 loss December 1st to Washington. Thompson cooks it off. 3-on-2. Iguodala kicks it out of bounds.
You know, Marv, you mentioned the game later, the Clippers and Houston. You know, when I think about the Clippers, I think about them being 3-up, 3-1 over Houston, and Houston coming back, just taking their heart and soul and winning that series. And I'm sure tonight the Clippers are going to want a little bit of payback. So good basketball all around, everybody, on this holiday.
Dellavedova at his path stopped by Clark. James watched by Green, picked up by the double. Goes to the fadeaway. They're making things very uncomfortable for LeBron James.
And after the tough shot, they gain rebound. Like Clark came in for that rebound. These guys want to get on the fast break, but they're not leaving early to do it.
Foul is called on Love. Incidentally, this is a new season high for first half points for a Cavalier opponent. The Warriors with 65 points, and those looks tell the story.
They tell it all, and there's nothing better as a competitor than to send 20,000 people home quiet and to see that look in your opponent's eyes.
Steph Curry, who happens to be from Akron, Ohio. His dad, Dell, spent some time with the Cavaliers. Same hometown, of course, of LeBron James.
So it's almost like a military baby going base to base. He's a basketball baby in every hoop town.
Although Dell spent a lot of time with the Charlotte Van Hornets, and is now color commentator following a solid career, terrific shooter. Foul is called with 1:06 to go in this first half. Coming up, the American Express halftime report. Ernie, Charles, Kenny, and Shaq will weigh in on what they saw in this first half.
I'm running to the locker room like I do at every game to go see what these guys are going to say about this one.
So J.R. Smith at the line. He is now 2 of 5 from the line.
And when you get in positions like this, Marv, what has happened has happened. You're down 30. How do you react to that adversity? Do you stick together? Do you finger point? Do you blame? Because you're going to have some more games later. This is just one game. It's very important, but it's about how you handle this to get you through the season.
It's a team, though, that was, at least LeBron and David Blatt expressed it when they were 8-3 early in the season. They said something's wrong here.
And sometimes you can feel it early, even if you're winning. Sometimes you can feel that, wait a minute, we aren't as desperate as the other teams.
Here's Love straight away for 3. Kevin Love from downtown, just his first field goal. Warriors, as you see, 9 of 15 from 3, make it 10 for 16. 30-point lead. Smith trying to go behind the back, and then lays it in.
JR is competing on both ends, trying to take advantage of this mismatch with Dellavedova.
Smith, the high man to Cleveland. He has 14 points. Stepped out of bounds. So the ball back to the Cavaliers. And a 20 taken by the Warriors as this first half winds down.
This Fenty.
Down to 15 seconds remaining In the first half, Marv Albert, Chris Webber, David Aldridge. It has been all Golden State right from the start. They come out, they hit their first 5 shots. 3 were from downtown. They lead it 12-2 and never look back.
You know, Marv, you mentioned the Carolina Panther game that we know Curry is such a fan of. Let's see how they react in the second half of the game. Will they let the team come back, or will they play with that same intensity?
All right, here is James. Able to go to the left hand. Final seconds. Well, it won't be the biggest halftime deficit for the Cavs this season, which was 29, but pretty close. The Warriors, 70 most points allowed this season by Cleveland and Eddie have 70-44 over the Cavaliers. We'll take a quick break, and then it's to the studios in Atlanta for the American Express halftime report with Ernie, Charles, Kenny, and Shaq.
Do not adjust your sets. 70-44 after 24 minutes at the Q in Cleveland, the biggest halftime deficit LeBron's ever had in Cleveland. This tour or the previous tour with the Cavaliers. Wow. Welcome to the American Express halftime report. Studio J here in Atlanta. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, Charles Barkley. We're all kind of thawed out now.
Not all of us.
Great pregame show. I know you like the hat, and it's a good look.
It's cold in here. I'm a tropical big man. Orlando, what's up? I'll see you in a few days.
But thanks to the folks at the King
It's
Center.
cold out here.
We had a great time out there, and
amazing.
Congressman John Lewis was great.
that
Bernice
was
King,
nice.
just awesome. And then we hustled back here, and before we even got here, it was like 60-4 in this game. It's crazy. I think Marv Albert said it pretty accurately. This is an embarrassing first half for Cleveland.
It's an embarrassing first half. I know guys don't really listen to what other players say, but I know they heard when the question was asked to Steph Curry, what do you feel about playing the Cavs? And he says, I hope the locker room still smells like champagne. Now, if I'm in the other locker room, I'm going off.
Oh, we miss you throwing your hat.
We coming out with that fire, but no, not today. They don't have a sense of urgency right now. Golden State is saying, you know what? We beat you before without Kevin Love, and we don't care who on the court. This is what we do. Right here, the king loses his composure. He knows better. Can't do that, LeBron. Keep your composure, especially right now. You lost to these guys in the finals. You got to step up and say, you know what? We can beat you. But right now, I think Golden State are inside the heads of the Cleveland Cavaliers. I mean, they're coming out with no sense of urgency. They're out there laughing, they're joking, and Golden State has their way with them. To me, it looks like they're inside the heads of the Cleveland Cavaliers.
You buying that, Chuck? Are they in here?
I don't think they're in there. I think they didn't realize. You remember last week we had the Cavaliers against the Spurs. It was a different level of intensity. It's like the Golden State Warriors are saying, you guys know if we play y'all in the finals, they wanted to send a message. You know, because I told you, some regular season games mean something because you want to get that psychological advantage. This is like they're trying to send them a message because clearly the Cavaliers are clearly the best team in the Eastern Conference, and they're letting them know, if we see y'all again in the finals, this is what you can expect.
I would think Cleveland wanted to send a message, too, that, look, I know we lost the last 3 in the finals last year, and we got beat on Christmas Day, but we're going to beat you tonight going in. But
that's my point.
Yeah,
and it's just like they didn't realize that Golden State was trying to send them a message. They should have been trying to send Golden State a message.
65% shooting, 70 points in the first half.
Well, you know, all of the messages are sent, but then it comes down to the play. And a lot of times when you play, it's important.
He's frisky tonight, man. He's ready to go. I don't know if you're going to the board or not.
I'm not going to the board tonight.
It don't matter. I'm sending you a message. I'm sending you a message. From now on, you will never beat me to the board again.
Well, I'm going to the board anyway. But, you know, I think the message is more that can you stop certain things? Doesn't matter how many messages you try to send because it comes down to play. And the biggest guy in here to me is Draymond Green. His versatility, yes, you know Steph Curry has been the MVP, but this guy is also super valuable. He might be the co-MVP of the league right now because his versatility allows him to do so many things because he spreads the floor and all of a sudden he sets picks, and when you give up sets of picks on the backspin, you cannot just leave him. So now in any pick and pop, freeze it here, If you don't rotate, which Moskov is not going to rotate, that's why it's tough to play big lineups against them. Because he doesn't rotate, he comes in, boom, finds the shooter. He doesn't find himself, he finds the shooter as a point guard because he becomes a point forward. He is the co-MVP. Again, pick and roll, freeze it again. No one coming because everyone's scared to leave the three-point shooters. He becomes a point forward again. I'll make decisions. The decision this time is to throw behind the back pass and get a guy a dunk. Again, a point forward. And to me, lastly, his ability to knock down, freeze it, knock down shots because Kevin Love, and now you got Varejao in the paint. No one's come out here. Point guard, don't think of him as a big guy, only on the rebounding because he separates them. He is the co-MVP of the league in my estimation in the first half of the season. If you're going to give it to Steph, you got to give it to him in the first half of the season.
Those were three of the worst defensive plays I've ever seen.
Well, because he forces you to make that decision.
You don't leave a guy wide open.
You think Moscow could have made that out there?
No, first
you can't make it out there.
Cleveland has to go small. They got to play
Without
Tristan Thompson, Kevin Love. But you don't follow that guard over there and leave a guy wide open. That's just awful defense.
You hear that music?
I play good defense.
Means we got to go to break. We'll be back.
Got to make a decision with Draymond.
Chuck.
He makes
Welcome to the American Express Halftime Report, brought to you by the Premier Rewards Gold Card from American Express.
American Express Halftime Report highlights. You see what Kemba Walker did today?
No, I did not.
Went off.
Oh, in and out. That's a New York handle right there, Kenny.
Yeah, you know what,
from
though?
New York.
I told you I was watching high school basketball.
He is from New York, ain't he, Kenny?
He is from New York. From the Bronx. What do you think?
This all in overtime
He went off today.
against the Utah Jazz.
Set a record.
Yep.
How many did he get today?
52.
Oh, 52.
Oh, Gobert.
Yeah,
Go get you.
Tied at 108. We go to double overtime.
Shout out to my guys in Dayton, Ohio, man, at their basketball tournament,
Hey,
man.
Second shot. Second Dayton.
IMG was out there. My son playing, but they were
That thing like my boy
hospitable.
Future
Out
out
in
in New
Dayton.
York.
Franchise high. 52 pickups.
50?
Wow.
Yeah, 50.
Yes, sir.
52.
52.
52. Back here on the American Express Halftime Report, rate the dance moves here, Shaq.
That's not
Pretty
dancing.
nice. Pretty
That's an
robotic.
imitation of a robot. She's not moving to a beat, though.
Looks like that actress. What's her name? Chuck.
Which actress?
Can you be a
That's
little
why I
more
asked you.
vague?
That's
That's
dancing.
dancing.
Yeah,
That's
get it,
dancing
good.
right
Get it,
There you go, big fella.
Pull it
The
off, pull it off.
Jabberwocky. Shout out to the Jabberwocky.
That's right, in Vegas.
Yeah, hey,
Big Herb.
hey.
You still do that?
Nah, arthritis in my big toe. Got that icy hot though. Man up.
You've been watching the American Express Halftime Report, brought to you by the Premier Rewards Gold Card from American Express.
Back at the Q in Cleveland, the NBA on TNT is being presented by State Farm. Marv Albert, Chris Webber, David Aldridge, a 26-point lead for the defending champion Golden State Warriors over the Cleveland Cavaliers, and the Warriors have done it with a three-point shot. They did it right from the start. They've hit 7 in all, 7 out of 10 from downtown.
And the only one out of these four we're going to see off the dribble was that by Curry. The rest are planned off of options. Great swing pass right there by Draymond Green. Andre Iguodala, we know after hitting the three, he can do the same thing. The sense of urgency looks like they're with the champions.
65% from the field. They've hit 26 of 40 overall. Have the Warriors, the 10 threes, 18 assists. They lead the NBA in assists. And this is the largest halftime deficit all time at home when LeBron James has been a member of the Cavaliers. Let's go to David Aldridge. David.
Well, guys, it was short and succinct. The Cavaliers told me the Warriors are cooking and we're not. And that's really all it came down to in the first half. The irony is that David Blatt really believed that after the team had gone on that road trip and come back 5-1, that they were ready to go on the same kind of run they did last season. When they got their guys healthy, they made the trades, and they went 30-3 going into the playoffs, and they believed that that was possible here. But his one concern was, coming off that trip, he thought they had a little bit of malaise, as he put it. He said if they had played yesterday, they would not have been good at all. Maybe they should have played Tuesday.
It's a good point. Love is short. Klay Thompson a moment ago adding to the lead off that drive. The Cavaliers have won 35 of their last 37 home games, including the last 11 against the Western Conference. That dates back to last season. Here's Thompson again. And they have only one loss at home coming into tonight. 15-1 overall. The one defeat was back on December 1st, a loss to the Wizards. And they are getting destroyed here.
When I played in the league, I really didn't understand people saying statement games. We're players. It's no statement. Well, Golden State is making a statement tonight. People have said who Golden State hasn't played. They haven't seen San Antonio. They haven't seen others. Well, the teams that have been in their way, that the schedule has made them play, they've come out focused, just like tonight.
Thompson is... Klay Thompson picks up his second foul. Shot clock is down to 5. Too much dribble here. Shot clock to 1. Smith cannot hit. Rebounded by Bogut on the box out of Mozgov.
Cavs put him in a tough position. He's a tough shot maker, but he can't make every shot. As you see LeBron right there showing his frustration by making sure he says, wait a minute, you're not going to get off the block. I'm going to show you how frustrated I am. Let's play physical.
Foul is called on Smith. And JR, it is his first. That's the indication we have, although they are going over to the...
Actually thought that was LeBron and Smith running through that pick and roll, and that was deliberate, not to try to hurt anyone or to do anything, but that's just frustration, also saying I'm going to be here all night, but got to bring that type of energy out at the beginning of the game.
Checking with the replay center in Secaucus to see who should be charged with the foul. The Golden State Warriors 37-4, best record in the NBA, and the Cavaliers at 28-10, leading the Eastern Conference. Well, perhaps they're looking to see if it should be a flagrant.
Definitely don't think that's a flagrant. When you're setting that screen, you know it's going to be some impact, and once or twice a game, guys, when they get frustrated, run through that screen. Be interested to see what the refs decide.
It was called a personal foul on the floor.
I'm surprised they're even looking at it this much. I don't know if I've ever seen a guy running through a screen be called for a flagrant foul.
Ken Mauer, the lead official, working with Kane Fitzgerald and Trey Maddox. And apparently it's a flagrant 2 that is being called.
I'd love to see that again because, Marv, I've seen players that weren't trying to have a flagrant foul run through a pick because they didn't even see the pick coming with full speed. So I'd love to see that again to see why the refs assessed it that way. I'm sure they had a reason. Maybe it's that left shoulder in there, but I don't know if that warranted to get kicked out of a game.
Well, J.R. Smith was ejected. We had no word at all at first. And it is a flagrant.
I'm watching that left elbow to see if he extends, but I tell you what, I don't even think that's a flagrant. In practice, coach wouldn't even call a foul. He'd say, get up.
Things are different these days. It is a flagrant 2. It's Curry for 3. Steph Curry with his 5th, 5 of 6 from downtown, has 191 threes for the season, which leads the the NBA.
So are you assuming that he's going to break his own record?
Yes. 79-44 Golden State. And Bogut is called for the push on Mozgov. Now, unless there is a miraculous turn, and we obviously have a long way to go, and we've seen some bizarre occurrences in the NBA, the Cavalier problems will continue against the top teams in the West. They've lost the 2 previous games to Golden State and the other night to San Antonio. Thompson is off. Curry with the rebound. And another 24. Curry fires. And it is deflected out, last touched by the Warriors.
Even though we've seen these last 2 plays, that miss by Curry, Golden State still has the edge in energy. And when you're down, you're supposed to fight with a sense of urgency, especially the team that you've lost the championship to, and this is the only second game of the year that you get to play them. Golden State has that.
Pass from Irving, not handled by Mozgov, so the ball back to Golden State. What a testy crowd for about the second quarter on.
Coach Black doesn't look too happy over there himself. I think he can put a lot of advertisement with how he feels right now.
Nice pass by Curry to set it up. And Bogut is fouled. Mozgov number 4, so 4 apiece on Tristan Thompson and Timofey Mozgov.
Tristan Thompson has been out of position because he's had to guard guys that aren't big fellas. Draymond Green plays big, but he's not a big fella. He's a 3. The same with Thompson. They put Tristan Thompson in a position where he's had to go out on the floor and guard guys where he was not comfortable tonight. And unfortunately for the Cavs, he's got in foul trouble because of that.
Curry getting it to Green, back the other way. It is broken up by Irving and then deflected out of bounds. 1.8 remaining on the shot clock. Irving making his way towards our monitor.
Hope you don't have 3D glasses on because you're going to jump out the way right here. Irving trying to hustle, get an extra possession.
Green on a catch and shoot. Shumpert gets it down. Here's James for 3. Curry racing down behind the back. Green actually got tied up for a moment, could not get the good shot off. In fact, he thought he was fouled. Shumpert. 3.5 gone by here in the third, and Kyrie Irving able to hit. So Irving, with just his second field goal, leads to a Warrior timeout.
Fun season. Welcome back to Cleveland, where the Warriors are in complete control tonight. As you heard earlier, Steve Kerr is with the team, with his Warriors, and he wanted to test his shooting touch today to see if he still had it, and he still has it. Unfortunately, Coach Kerr still showing symptoms. He had those 2 off-season surgeries, the first to repair a ruptured disc in his back in July, and then after complications developed, he had a second surgery. While he's feeling much better, he's still having some symptoms of lightheadedness, and he gets fatigued easier. The good news is this is the farthest east he's gone so far since returning to practice on a more regular basis, and he told me when he works out, he actually feels great. It's when he has to sit for long stretches that the symptoms return. The main issue that he has is how will the stress of getting back to coaching and being back on that bench affect his physical symptoms? Marv?
All right, thank you, David. Still, obviously, as you mentioned, still has the touch of an underhanded style. Out of the pages of one-time Warrior Rick Barry, who shot his free throws underhand. It was a stellar free throw shooter. And then I remember he actually recommended, there was a center by the name of George Johnson, as you see that little flip that is knocked aside, and it's called goaltending. The basket counts Draymond Green gets credit. George Johnson, who was a setter on the Warriors, began shooting under, and he was not a good free throw shooter. Shumpert off a rare mix-up by the Warriors defensively. And Johnson did well with the underhand free throw, which you will not see today. And players just don't feel it looks right.
This is the pretty era. If it's not pretty, it doesn't work, even if it works all the time. And Barry, one of the greats, if he did it, I think that gives anyone the right in the past to do it.
Because you wonder how DeAndre Jordan or Dwight Howard would do, but you're not going to see it. They just, you know they're not going to do it.
You're not. They would get teased for it, probably could get a sponsor for it, but if you want to be efficient and do it, it seems that if it's not working, what's insanity? Continue to do the same thing and wish for a different result. Just doesn't happen.
Get a sponsor for it, huh?
Yeah, sponsor. The underhand food company. I don't know.
Very good, Chris. Mozgov just picked up his 5th. A look at the upcoming NBA TV schedule. ESPN Wednesday, Golden State at Chicago, Atlanta, and Portland. NBA Saturday night, prime time on ABC. Bulls at Cleveland. And NBA TV next Monday, Minnesota, Cleveland, San Antonio playing at Golden State. And that is a marquee matchup. NBA TV will have it next Monday night. Klay Thompson just hurt his right arm, right shoulder.
It'll be so fun to watch Kawhi Leonard check everyone on his team. Curry, Thompson, all the way to Draymond.
A foul on Bogut. 10 on the shot clock for the Cavs. James, nice pass. Mozgov missed the layup. Mozgov kicked it. And then recovered. Got it to Irving for 3. And it's rebounded by Bogut. Here's Thompson, puts it in the air. Green slapped at it. Curry on the recovery. Barnes for 3. Kept alive by Green. And he's hit with Shumpert and Mozgov trying to slap it away. That was frustration on the part of the Cavaliers, and Shumpert called for the foul.
Well, you should be frustrated. Green is 6'7" on record, so that probably means 6'5.5". And in real life, the way basketball players add an inch or two, and he's in there with 7-footers getting offensive rebounds. You should be frustrated.
Warriors have led by as many as 35, up here by 33 points. Curry on the hop. Bogut. Warriors are actually missing shots here in the third quarter, which rarely occurred in the first half.
And it's not because of the defense. That was just a great shot right there, and just a nice miss by Bogut. He'll take that again.
Bogut actually fouled LeBron twice on that move.
And he should have, or he was going to get dunked on once. Really good hard time. So good job by him, making sure that James doesn't get that easy penetration down the lane.
Iguodala back, coming on for Barnes. Sits down with 7 points. Steph Curry, the high man, he has 24, 9 of 13 from the field. He's put on a three-point festival. Nice pass from Irving, and Mozgov missed the stuff. And hearing it from this crowd. Had some good moments in the first half. Iguodala. Defensive 3-second violation.
You know, Marvin, about 5 minutes, both teams are going to have to ask this question if this pace stays the same. Do we sit our starters down? If you're Cleveland, do you put minutes on LeBron James, who has played close to 50,000 minutes total in a game like this when maybe you can't come back? Do you leave them in for the fans? If you're Golden State, you want to stay healthy and maybe lead guys to take guys out so that they don't risk it.
Well, Cleveland's next game is Wednesday night, playing the Nets in Brooklyn. We'll be right back.
To be.
Watch all the NBA All-Star 2016 action live from the Air Canada Centre in Toronto, February 12th through the 14th, only on TNT. All-Star The actual All-Star game will be Sunday, February 14th, Sunday night. Well, it hasn't been the case tonight in terms of Kyrie Irving, who's shot just 3 of 11, but he and Steph Curry are 2 of the top ball handlers in the NBA, as you see. Chris, which do you feel is the better ball handler?
I really want to cop out on this because I really don't have it. I mean, you know, they're different. You know, Curry shoots and he wants to get space. While as you see that hesitation on Kyrie, he's a little more herky-jerky. I would say Kyrie is the better ball handler, but only because I have to pick. I would say a tie 99 out of 100 times.
Yeah, that is so bad. Yeah, seriously. Basket didn't count. James Jones, who just checked in, called for the foul. I mean, really, that is. And here's Curry on a catch and shoot. That's his 6th 3. 6 of 9 from downtown. I would say this. Curry, I would go for Steph Curry in the contest between the two. I mean, you're talking, as you say, 2 of the best of all time. But particularly, and this was not what we were talking about, but particularly in setting up a shot.
Yes.
Shumpert is off. I've never seen anybody do what he does to get free for the field goal attempt.
Great point as he hoists one from downtown Cleveland. Well, we're downtown, but he was outside the building. But, you know, Curry is more of he'll attack, but he also goes east to west. He likes getting that space, whereas it seems that Kyrie pushes it. The most difficult dribble combinations to get inside that paint and finish. Just a tough decision.
And I'd like to see Kyrie at full strength. I mean, he's come back from off-season surgery. He's had some nice games, but had that fractured left kneecap. Curry now with 29 points.
Since there's a little bit of a lead, I can say this. I know a guy at home that's 40 years old that is just as good of a dribbler, and his name is Jay Will, and his son, Jackson. And his son Jackson is 7 or 6, and he'll destroy most guys in the league with his handles. But I tell you, I talked about having fun playing, and this is what you love. You know he's going to pass you the ball, but the best defensive guard ever, Gary Payton, tried to trip him on that play. I mean, he puts Kobe on skates. This guy, so fun to play with. You know, Marv, he would put ankle weights on his wrist and dribble as hard as he could in practice, in a live practice. Just so fun to watch these exciting ball handlers in the league.
Jason Williams would be in the conversation, but I third or further down. But he's in the conversation. Pistol Pete Maravich.
I was going to say, it would be none of this without the Pistol Pete's.
Earl Monroe.
Yes.
Klay Thompson on that foul, putting James Jones at the line. Completes a 3-point play. James Jones making his first appearance of the night. Just under 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. Look out. Draymond Green got caught in the air. Was he fouled? Yes, he was. It's on Jones.
As a player, you never want to do this. That's a bad call, but Green got away. You never want to take a dribble at any time, leave the floor without knowing where you're going. Good defense right there by the Cavs. Bad call.
David Blatt, the head coach of the Cavaliers, unhappy with that call. So here is Curry. Steph Curry coming into today with 286 from downtown. And he hit 6 tonight, so 192 to bring that up to date.
So you're saying that really he could get close to 400 threes at the halfway point. We're only at the halfway point of the season. He's
no question.
Amazing.
And some words as LeBron was fouled on that drive. Or was it the other way?
He
offensive, yes.
And he also kind of showed his frustration and threw an arm out there. It wasn't a punch, but kind of an elbow, like, get up off me. I'm a little frustrated tonight, but good call by the officials.
It is a technical foul on James.
Yeah, Barbosa on the side telling Festus Ezeli, relax, that's what you want. You have the best player in the world upset right now. Just calm down.
Steph Curry, one of the league's best free throw shooters, able to knock it down. 90% free throw man. Well, earlier this third quarter, J.R. Smith was hit with a flagrant 2 and was ejected. And now LeBron James picked up a technical. He was fouled. And then the reaction to the foul led to the technical.
Well, Marv, not that this happens in the NBA, and you've seen a lot of games, but I've seen a lot of coaches get kicked out in that second quarter where their team is down a good 25 points and say, if I can't do anything to help my team, let me do something to help my team and go in the back and at least watch, but give this crowd and infuse some energy. So that's what the Cavs are trying to do. Get this crowd in the game anyway, but Golden State, a wonderful job of taking this building out.
Yes, that has happened from time to time. Nice move. Draymond Green looking for the foul call, and Draymond putting up some nice numbers. 16 points, 9 assists, 7 rebounds. Draymond Green leads the NBA with 8 triple-doubles and is headed in that direction. Shot clock is down at 5. Shumpert on a step back.
Marv, the offense of the Cavs is atrocious. They haven't run a play. They can't get guys involved. Now that should be a serious foul because Andre Iguodala was in the air. Like, I don't like how refs make a call based on how it looks. It should be the fact of it. And if a guy is in the air, then that's a flagrant. Not running through a screen, but this is where a guy can get hurt right there. And he went for the ball. But if you're going to make a mistake based on aggression, I would think this is a type of play rather than a guy running through a screen.
I agree with you. And it should be called just to stop what is going on, because there are things that are festering here.
That's right. As a player, this is what you never want to feel, a falling feeling as you're going in the air without control, and you could land on the foot, you could hurt your knee. And not that Shumpert did that in a bad way. He did go for the ball, but it just seems that the ref will notice that call.
That should have been a flagrant 1, and perhaps will be eventually.
Yes.
Warriors lead at 96-59. Just under 3 left in the third. Dellavedova given the room. James played by Curry. Here is LeBron kicking it out. Dellavedova for 3. Matthew Dellavedova from downtown. 96-62. Cavaliers try to cut into that lead. Iguodala right back. Another 3 for the Warriors. They are 13 of 27 from downtown.
And the Warriors can shoot, but this is a lack of defensive attention. You know Draymond Green is setting the pick, and he's going to get it in that little space. You cannot allow him to get it to the corner. You must get to him before he gets the ball.
All right, here's Barbosa. Oh, the chase down by James. Catching one of the fastest players with the ball, even at this stage of his career in the NBA.
Tayshaun Prince all over again. When you're driving to the hole, check your rear view mirror. Great timing, but the quickness.
Are you talking Reggie?
Oh, was that? I don't know. Oh. Oh, I just meant the guy that did it. I didn't mean who he did it against.
Barbosa for 3. Iguodala. And they regroup. Barbosa from a tough angle hits it.
This team, you still have Livingston on the bench. I mean, you have Mo Buckets or Spates on the bench. I mean, still a lot of talent on this team that I still don't believe have played their best ball, the Golden State Warriors.
This is the biggest lead of the night. They're up by 39. LeBron James, 7 of 16, just 16 points. Curry from downtown.
Marv, he turned around, Marv, before he hit the shot. I mean, I know you're used to seeing it, but this is just this is exciting no matter the score, because you have a team out here, the champions, that are playing like they're the ones that lost the championship last year.
7-3 for Curry. Dellavedova hits from downtown. Steph Curry now has 35 points. Leads the NBA, averaging 30 points per game. You know, there was a story last year, and I know people doubted it. What a move by Curry, but not able to finish. That in practice one day, he does a drill, and he hit 77 consecutive three-pointers, and that has been verified. It's on tape. Offensive foul against the Cavaliers. Can you imagine that?
I've seen Chris Mullin at about 29, and we were jumping at him and fouling him. Seen Peja Stojakovic at about 38. I believe the 75.
77.
Oh, no, I don't believe 77. Maybe 75.
Final seconds of the third. Barbosa for 3. 3 quarters complete. You know, if the Cavaliers could say, let's go home, I think they'd all vote for that.
If they could, they would.
After 3, fans heading to the exits. Warriors lead at 104-67. Back in Cleveland, the NBA on TNT is presented by State Farm. Golden State with a 104-67 lead as this fourth quarter gets underway. The Warriors have 7 assists, no turnovers in the third quarter. Foul is called on Shumpert. Warriors in all with 25 assists for the game. They lead the NBA, 28 assists a game. They are bouncing back from that loss in Detroit the other night. They're shooting 57%. They've hit 14 from three-point land, 14 of 31. They lead the NBA in three-point shooting percentage at 42. They average 12 makes a game. They shoot about 30 threes per game. They average 114 points a game.
It's amazing how when LeBron came back, or when LeBron came in the NBA, in my opinion, he changed the dynamic of all-stars, of the best player on the team. He included players. He was judged for making passes at the end of games. With him, it was always about playing the right way. And how interesting right now that he's playing against a team that has adapted that total field, and they all play the right way. It's just a wonderful key to success, moving that ball.
This is only the opening minute, Chris, of the fourth quarter, and 106 points already represents the high this season for a Cleveland opponent. Shumpert knocks it down. Warriors got right to it. They jumped out to a 12-2 lead. They hit their first 5. 3 of the 5 were three-pointers, and they have led all the way.
And I think that's still the Steve Kerr effect. When you have someone that teaches you how to play the right way and stays on you about it, it just stays in your mentality. This is the mentality of the Golden State Warriors, to come out, have fun, move the ball, play defense, attention to detail, and jump on you early.
Iguodala, the most valuable player of the NBA Finals, now with 3 three-pointers. Front and ball ends up in the backcourt, over and back. So the ball back to Golden State. Harrison Barnes gives to Sean Livingston. Iguodala's also out there, as is Barbosa and Ezeli. And another 3 for Iguodala. That's his 4th of the night. And the Warriors 16 for 33 from three-point territory. Albert, Chris Webber, David Aldridge from Quicken Loans Arena on a snowy night in Cleveland. And the Warriors with a 112-69 lead. This is not what was expected. Dellavedova, he's been hitting the 3. Fairley had a foot on the line. That'll be a two-pointer.
The fact that Livingston is 6'7", can go to point guard. I mean, what a great finals he's had. And when I think about Livingston, I just think about a player you can trust to execute the game plan.
Barnes knocks it down. Livingston at one time played with the Cavaliers, as did Luke Walton. Luke was saying what a good time he had and his teammate here in Cleveland. And although the team was not very good, LeBron had left, gone to Miami, but he had Livingston and Spates on that team. And Steve Kerr spent time earlier in his career with the Cavaliers. It's a nice move by Varejao, but all for naught as he tried to get it out to Dellavedova, who did not expect that pass.
Sometimes it just seems you just can't get right, and the Cavs are going through that, feeling that now. But if you are Varejao, that hasn't had a lot of playing time this year, if you are Jefferson and other guys, you want to make sure you get a rhythm in this garbage time.
It has been garbage time for the entire second half.
Garbaggio.
Livingston makes the turn. And Varejao is called for a foul. And they're going to discuss this. Earlier there was a flagrant on LeBron. And there was a ejection of J.R. Smith.
I'm not one for double fouls, but if there ever was a double foul, that seems like that is the time.
And apparently that's what the call is. And now Brandon Rush has checked in for Golden State. Brandon Rush has played very well. 8-year man out of Kansas. He's back from knee problems that have hit him over the years. He's been in the starting lineup with Harrison Barnes injured, and he started 23 games and did a good job. Barbosa. Varejao with a nice play, knocked it aside. There's Dellavedova leading Varejao, and Varejao is fouled.
Varejao always makes his presence felt, and it starts with his effort. The great poke on the other end, running down the floor.
That was number 6 on Ezeli, so he will take a seat. So Maurice Spates will come on for the first time.
Varejao better pay attention on defense, because Mo Spates puts it up. Makes a lot of the shots, but
not shy.
He believes you miss every shot you don't take.
The save by Varejao, but ends up in the hands of the Warriors. Rush, Livingston, Barnes. And it's rebounded by Jefferson. Here's Shumpert. And a foul is called. That'll put Shumpert at the line. Foul is on Rush. And we will take a break. You're watching the NBA on TNT.
If I say keep coming, keep coming. If I say stay high, stay high. I got you. I got you. That was nice. My bad. I knew play was over, but I was trying to run. Oh, what?
Andre Iguodala wearing the wireless mic for us. That was the State Farm Oreo assist. And Andre Iguodala matching his season high 20 points as he takes a seat. Had a total of just 4 the previous 3 games, but does so much, particularly at the defensive end.
When you talk about the coaching on this team, last year I think the move that got them the championship was Coach Kerr moving Andre Iguodala to the bench. Andre was my rookie in Philly, and I know he's a prideful and a great way type guy that works hard and plays hard. And so when he won the championship, it was very interesting. The first thing he did was say, "I'd like to thank my chaplain who made me believe that I had to sacrifice for the team." And you see how he's rewarded, but he wasn't playing that well the last few games till tonight and found his groove again.
Dellavedova getting it to Cunningham. Jared Cunningham, 4-year man from Oregon State, plays about 10 minutes a game, comes up with his first bucket. Dellavedova now defending on Livingston. Spates guns one. Rebounded by Jefferson. Did not take much time.
No, it's the Spates shot watching. He could knock him down, but he is not shy.
He was a very valuable guy off the bench last season. Nice move by Shumpert, and he's fouled by Barnes. There's Mo Spates, who was nicknamed Mo Buckets by assistant coach Bruce Fraser, who's known as Q. He's responsible for that. Mo was cut from his middle school basketball team in St. Petersburg, Florida. He was 5'8" in 8th grade and had a dramatic growth spurt in his high school days. He's now 6'10". Ended up playing for Billy Donovan at the University of Florida, member of the Gators 2007 NCAA championship team. A roster that included Joakim Noah and Al Horford. Shot clock is down to 5. Barnes, yes. Another 3 for the Warriors. Spates, originally a first-round pick of Philly. He's been with the Sixers, Memphis, Cleveland, and now it has evolved with Golden State, although this season not playing as much as he did a year ago. Nice pass, Cunningham with the layup.
But you love the fact that Mo is still accepting his role, and he's just saying, wait a minute, I know this team doesn't get to play much in the fourth quarter, so I'll knock it down from the top of key.
So Spates able to drill it.
You know, Marv, you were talking at the break that saying what Steph Curry scored tonight, and the fact that he has 35 points not playing in the fourth quarter. I mean, just amazing.
And he does that often. Meanwhile, Dellavedova hits his third 3 of the night. Curry averaging 30 a game, which leads the NBA, and he sits out a lot of time in the fourth quarter because the Warriors have been running up scores on opponents.
Just great team ball, and it doesn't matter to him. He doesn't want the game to be closer for better stats. He says, wait a minute, we have a good team. I'll get my rest.
And now Luke Walton has used his entire roster as Jason Thompson, 8-year man out of Rider College, checks in. Timeout. We'll be right back.
Starts Friday.
All right, Chris, time for Quick to Rebound, presented by Chocolate Milk. And this was a solid rebound in terms of the Golden State Warriors, who lost their last game in Detroit by 18. That was this past Saturday night in a poor performance.
Yes.
They shot a season-low 36%, had a season-low 18 assists, and pretty good turnaround here tonight.
I tell you what, Ben Wallace, another one of my rookies, congratulations for getting your jersey retired and all of that good stuff, but what a way to bounce back but for the Warriors. And how about Draymond Green penning an open letter in the Detroit Free Press to Ben Wallace, even though I don't know, was he talking about Rasheed? Did he say something about good three-point shooting?
I saw in different articles that Jefferson is rejected and he is fouled. I saw separate articles. At one point he said he was inspired by Ben Wallace, and at another point it was Rasheed Wallace.
The Wallace brothers. It was to the Wallaces, yeah.
Both obviously major contributors to the Detroit Pistons. So Jefferson will shoot 2. NBA fans, you can download the Bleacher Report app. It has the fastest news alerts, best highlights, and features the funniest tweets and Instagrams delivered to you instantly on your phone. Just download Bleacher Report for the App Store or Google Play, and you can do it today. In that game the other night, Steph Curry did put up 38 points, 13 of 26. He had 7 threes in that one and picked up a rare technical foul.
Pretty bad call on that tech.
Yes.
You see Mr. Buckets getting up another one.
Mo Buckets coming up short.
I'd love to see, Mo Williams in. Maybe not tonight. I know he's just gotten back, but he had a 50-point game last year. I really think he's going to be a big cog on this team. When the playoffs start, you have another scorer, another ball handler. You have another pro that can get you some buckets.
Mo had been playing through a partially torn ligament in his right thumb. In fact, he had a couple of previous procedures on that right thumb a couple of years ago. Missed 2 months after the surgery, but recently he's missed games due to a family matter. But he is back in uniform tonight. Shumpert just fouled out. There's Mo. He's in a second go-round as a member of the Cavaliers. A very important player in the earlier years when LeBron James was here.
Yes, and I think he can DH for this team. I think he can come in and play 1 to 2 games in a 7-game series and give you everything that you need. A true professional, a tough guard, both on the defense and offensive end.
Golden State on its way to making it 9 wins in their last 10, making the last 11 regular season games against the Cavaliers. Space not able to dunk, but he's fouled. Back on Christmas Day in Oakland, the Warriors beat the Cavaliers in a very physical game, in contrast to what has taken place here tonight, although there have been some moments, but they were more out of frustration. Steph Curry had 19 points in that one, but shot just 6 for 15. Draymond Green had a terrific game, 22 and 15. LeBron was 10 for 26 to 25 points. And remember Sean Livingston, 8 of 9 in that particular game. Well, NBA Saturday night primetime on ABC will be this Saturday when the Chicago Bulls take on these Cleveland Cavaliers. As I mentioned earlier, the Cavs will be in Brooklyn to play the Nets. Question is, are they counting that? There was a foul called. And back home Thursday night here for the Clippers. We'll have that on TNT starting at 8 o'clock Eastern time. And then they'll play 5 of their next 6 games at home, including tonight.
You know, Marv, this is an important game because of one reason, not just the past and the implications of this game, but also because you're taking home court advantage away during the season, not in the playoffs, but against one of the best teams that play at home. And yes, Golden State's wonderful at home, undefeated, the same with San Antonio. But to be able to come in to the Cleveland Cavaliers, but they only lost 1 time this year, and handle them so easily, just shows your attention to detail on the road.
The officials over at the replay area, apparently they're checking to see who the foul is on that 3-point shot.
You see maybe it's Thompson right there fighting through the pick.
James Jones was able to hit. And it is called no basket.
Come on, guys. It's okay. You can wake up. Maybe he's praying for a fourth quarter comeback.
This might capture what has taken place here in the second half. And the foul away from the ball on Jason Thompson puts Varejao at the line. Incidentally, the 43-point lead that Golden State held just a couple of moments back was the biggest deficit ever that a LeBron James team has faced.
That says so much. You know, when we really think about this, one of the reasons why I really admire LeBron is because he decided to come home. He wanted to win one from his hometown. And when I see a star make that type of decision, I know the pressure and the burden he puts on his back, and you just hope everyone else has that sense of urgency. So it's going to be interesting to see how this team handles it. You can handle it 2 ways. Let it depress you, or let it be a catalyst for you to do things correct the rest of the season.
Barbosa coming around the pick. Prior to that, it was Richard Jefferson knocking down a 3. Just under 5 remaining in this fourth quarter. You know, it is rare to see a game, particularly between good ball clubs or terrific clubs. In this case, Brandon Rush with that bucket, where a team will take the early lead and just hang on and build as James Jones hits it that way. There's no comeback. Nothing.
But doesn't it seem like the Warriors wanted this? Because you're so right, Marv, but the comment by Curry, and it wasn't malicious. He said, I wonder, does the locker room still smell like champagne? I can't wait till hopefully we interview him after the game and ask him, because something inspired these guys to continue doing what they were doing all year long.
And then Steve Kerr also pointed out how happy he was to be back here, as you pointed out earlier, that you know, the fact that this was a great memory and he still had that scent of champagne.
Yeah, when you talk to sports psychologists, other guys, they talk about your safe place. Well, it's crazy, because if you want to go to your safe place for Golden State, isn't the locker room of Cleveland where you won the championship? You know that home is okay.
And you know, LeBron did not have an answer for it, and he wanted to wait until after this game, hopefully for a victory, and say something to the effect, take that champagne or whatever, you know.
And you know, Marv, that's the thing. Cleveland can't act like this game was not circled on their calendar. It was. They came up short desperately.
This is Jones, been hitting his shot. Coming up on 3 minutes to play, the Golden State Warriors headed to a record of 38-4, which is the best in the league, and so they will be 2 games in front of the San Antonio Spurs, who last night did come up with a victory over Dallas, and they'll be 19-4 on the road. All 4 of their losses coming on the road, at Detroit, at Dallas, at Milwaukee, and at Denver. Timeout taken. Warriors 126 of the Cavaliers 90.
ENT.
Well, the Warriors' upcoming schedule will be probably the biggest test of the season. A tough stretch tonight here in Cleveland. We are at the 18th of January, and then the Warriors go to Chicago on Wednesday the 20th. They host the Spurs and Mavs next week, face Oklahoma City on February the 6th, and Monday night, San Antonio and Golden State on NBA TV. So they have 9 sets of back-to-back 7-game road trip coming up in February, broken up by the All-Star game. Raymond Ritter, the talented and somewhat personable, I say somewhat personable director of public relations for the Golden State Warriors, handing us a note that this is the 20th game for the Warriors with 30 or more assists this season. That's amazing. The next closest team is Atlanta with 9 30-assist games this season.
That may be my favorite stat of the year.
You're giving him too much credit.
Well, because Curry can score anytime he wants, but being a great jump shooter, when the team gives him the ball wide open, you know, it just shows the recipe for success.
I'm talking about Raymond.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Too much credit.
Yeah, way too much.
So Jason Thompson to the line. James Jones on the foul. Number 4. There's Raymond.
Yeah, there he is. Raymond gave you too much credit. Get off camera.
2:49 remaining in this fourth quarter. Right here, let's go to Ernie Johnson. Back in our studios.
Yeah, thank you, Marv. We interrupt this tribute to Raymond Ritter to let you know that the Houston Rockets and Clippers will be playing next. Chris Paul and the Clips have won 10 of their last 11. The Rockets have been hot, won 6 out of 7. You see DeAndre Jordan in the background. He's had pneumonia, but he will play tonight for the Clips. That Raymond Ritter is something, Marv.
You see, Ernie, you hurt his feelings now. He's going to hear about that. He's going to be very, very upset. How about James Jones, who now has 8 points? It's Ian Clark, as we mentioned earlier, has that three-point touch. He's played very well off the bench. He was an excellent three-point shooter in college at Belmont. Did it in preseason. He shoots 46% from three. Does Belmont College ring a bell to you?
No.
The first major coaching job that Al McGuire had. Wow. Was at Belmont. Actually, it was Belmont Abbey at that time. That's fascinating to you.
That is, because that puts it on the map right there. They had a legendary coach there.
All right, here's Clark. This time comes up short. Warriors with a 132-95 lead. Backdoor for Cunningham. Nicely done from Jones to Cunningham. Coming up on a minute remaining in what has been a sensational return to the city of Cleveland for the NBA champs, the Golden State Warriors. Not exactly what the Cavaliers expected.
No, Marv, when you have these type of big games, you want to win them for your home crowd. And you feel like not only did you let your team down, but you let the crowd down. And one thing, you can lose a game, but you never want to feel like you got blew out or you lost it with effort. Tonight, you feel that the Cavs did not match the effort and energy of Golden State.
So the Warriors will make it a two-game sweep of this season series with the Cavaliers. They've won 9 of the last 11 regular season games over the Cavs. Jason Thompson with the foul. Cunningham at the line. Golden State able to bounce back from that loss at Detroit. They go to 38-4. Terrific game for Steph Curry. 12 for 18 from the field for 35 points in all. 7 of 12 from downtown. And they're back to 2 games in front of another pretty good club, the San Antonio Spurs, as we saw last Thursday night in their victory over these Cavaliers. Cavaliers now 0-3 against the 2 top teams in the West, Golden State and San Antonio. And the Cavs dropped to 28-11, still in the top spot of the East, but they have now lost 2 of their last 3 after winning 8 in a row. It's only their second loss at home. They're now 15-2 here at the Q. Final seconds, Cunningham. And that will do it. Cleveland's biggest loss of the season. They had only 3 defeats all season by 7 or more points. The biggest home loss for Cleveland with LeBron James a member of the team. Thanks to our producer, Jeff Randolph, our director, Matt Litt, and our statistician, Brian Taylor. You see the final, 132-98. Warriors led by as many as 43. The Rockets and Clippers are next. For Chris Webber, David Aldridge, and the rest of the crew, Marv Albert saying good night from Cleveland. You've been watching the NBA on TNT. We'll take a quick break, and then we send it to Brian Anderson and Reggie Miller in LA.